Hi guys, happy Monday. Guess what time it is? I know, rubber gloves. Gives everybody bad, kinky ideas. And it's not even nighttime. It's 1 o'clock on a Monday afternoon. And I really want to get these done so I don't have to come home at 10:30 at night to a sink full of dishes. And I figured we could chit-chat if I can think of anything to talk about. It feels like November, even though it's May 13th. It's very chilly and damp and just horrible out. So that's why I'm wearing my funky... It's nice to have a chance to wear my funky favorite Swiss dot crazy sleeve hoodie today, which is really dumb for my job because I'm probably going to be cooking tonight. I shouldn't make light of this, but like, can you imagine leaning over a stove? Yeah, no, I might wind up changing, or at least putting on something different when I cook there. So we made it through another Mother's Day, another holiday that caused an avalanche of ambivalence in me. Isn't that a great phrase? I should trademark my phrases and get money for them. Just kidding. Speaking of housework and just like puttering around and doing things, I just changed my litter box, you know, the cat box, and brought it out. Note to self and to anybody out there just starting out being a human or an adult, and I'm 53, so I should know better, but never try to scrimp and save money on things like toilet paper, you know, because the cheap stuff has like freaking bark chunks in it, and trash bags, you know, the tall kitchen garbage bags. Very foolhardy to try to save 30 or 40 or 50 cents, although sometimes you do have to, instead of getting the good ones, you know, like the Force Flex or whatever they're called, because I just lugged a whole bunch of garbage and used cat litter out to my front steps, and the bag exploded, and I had to clean up a lot of stuff out there, while the ducks were just like ruffling their feathers and sitting under a tree in the front yard laughing at me. Laughing like ducks do, you know. Little assholes. I swear a lot. I'll never get monetized, but whatever. Speaking of which, I got a nice little handful of new subs because of Sabina's shout out and Smokey Steve and Mark's shout out. I did lose one or two though, which kind of amuses me in a way, because I always wonder like what I'm doing or saying that causes somebody to click unsubscribe. I'm not really... My biggest crime is probably being dull, but I'm not talking about anything too controversial, I don't think. I talk about my life and how crazy things can be. And so I said I was going to do dishes, right? I'm just leaning here. I hope you can hear over the sound of the water. I got my schedule for next week. It's a little bit, you know, tentative, only because I always get pulled from site to site depending on need in the various houses. And right now in one of the houses there's a tremendous amount of upheaval. I mean, an absolute circus shit show. As I always say, I don't feel comfortable getting into huge detail, but it's just, in my opinion, poorly run, poorly managed. A lot of, you know, the left hand never knows what the right is doing, and vice versa. And people are getting disgruntled and quitting and looking for transfers, and everyone's, you know, going on vacation at the same time. And people assume I don't have a life, so it's like, Lisa will do it, but guess what? Lisa has preferences and choices, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be at a house where I'm a little bit more comfortable, or the workload isn't quite as arduous. I'm not a slacker. I'm actually like too hard of a worker, really, because it doesn't serve anyone well if I get burned out as a caregiver. And I can't afford to take time off, so I never take vacations. I can't recall the last time I had a vacation. I think about 7 years ago, I went to Cape Cod with my friend Steve from the city. Not my husband, Steve. Like you're not all confused enough. We went to visit my grandmother who lived in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, before she died. And it was fantastic to see her and visit with her. She lived in a beautiful nursing home, like overlooking the ocean, actually, in Falmouth. And she passed soon after, so it was wonderful to get to see her. But that was like, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago, and it was like a 3-day long weekend. And that was the last time I went anywhere. It's just expensive. I mean, honestly, even day trips, everything's expensive. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people Well, I know how they do it. They have good jobs, or they're married to people with good jobs. But I have so many relatives that take these grand cruises and intercontinental trips, and like they're posting from Barcelona and Tunisia and like New Mexico, and just anyway, stop being bitter, petty, and jealous, Lisa. I need to get to the Sprint store and figure out what's happening with both my phone, my network, my settings, and maybe even I can find some nerd there and pick his or her brain about YouTube, because I'm getting really frustrated, and I almost want to like post something on my neighborhood community Facebook link about like, can anybody help me who's familiar with YouTubing, because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've checked my settings, as I've said. I've checked everything, including phone settings, and I don't really understand the way my videos upload and why some of them seem like they're not even being viewed and there's like only 1 or 2 comments. Not saying they're worthy of 100 comments, but like I know a lot of you do watch my videos regularly, and it's just weird that some of them seem like they get more traffic and others get like no views, or my good old resident thumbs down person. I so wish you would make yourself known, sweetheart, so we could have a chit chat about what the hell is up your butt about me. Anyway, so yeah, I'd like to get my laptop fixed or replaced. I'd like to get a better phone and upgrade. But I want to figure out what I'm doing wrong. So if you guys could just please let me know, even if you don't like this video of washing dishes with me, just let me know maybe if you've seen it, or if you've seen my poetry one, or my kind of recap of thoughts last night. This took a long time to wash. My, what do you call it? The microwave carousel thing. So anyway, yesterday was nice, but it was a little bit emotionally top-heavy. Not for any real reason in particular, except for the way I filter things and the way I'm just very sensitive and the way I see life these days. The best way I can describe it is that when I'm in situations where emotions are coming to the surface, I feel like I've never learned to process anything, and I get short-circuited. It feels like a zap in my brain where I suddenly can't deal with everything that's coming at me, even if it doesn't seem like anything, or even if it seems like it's pleasant things. Because in my past, that's also when I've sabotaged myself with drinking. Not just when I was sad or angry or down, but when things were going well, I couldn't even deal with like an overflow of positive emotions. Not that that happens that much, but I would just drink or be tempted to drink for graduations and weddings and parties and even like cookouts at relatives' homes. I'm surprised I ever get invited anywhere, because I really did used to make a goddamn fool out of myself. It was nice to pop onto Sabina's live stream for a little bit yesterday. I couldn't really do much or talk much or respond because I was in a car as a passenger with Steve, and I couldn't even really type well or see that well. It was nice to catch you, Dina, and those shout-outs were so appreciated. I was truly touched to tears by Smokey Steve and Marks. I don't care if anyone calls me Gigi or Gigi, as they said so with such a wonderful French flourish. Or Lisa, call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for dinner. Maybe I should be more secretive about things like names and all that jazz, but I don't take it all that seriously. I don't think I'm that important to worry about privacy. But, it's just me in these videos. It's not family or friends, so. But speaking of friends, I'm excited about Wednesday. I am working 8 to 3 because I can't afford the whole day off, but I'm going to go see Casey Tunstall at a local, like a dinner club venue with my dear friend, Ruth. Maybe she will let me vlog a little bit there with her in it. I don't know. Maybe not. She's pretty private. But she's kind of nervous about going. She's, I think, 57, very young at heart. She's also an animal lover. She loves my poetry. We talk shit about work all the time. We're like this. I really like her. But we're going to go see that show. And she's nervous about it. She goes, I'm going to follow your lead. I don't do these things. I'm scared. And I'm like, we're not going to Madison Square Garden, girl, or Radio City Music Hall. This is like a tiny local venue, but it is sold out. And if you're not familiar with KT Tunstall, she's so awesome. She's a Scottish singer. I don't want to call her a pop singer because that sounds so like denigrating. As a rule, I don't like pop music, but I love her. And she's known for that song, Big Black Horse and a Cherry Tree. 'Cause my heart's forsaken me. And she sings the song that was the opening to The Devil Wears Prada. Suddenly I See. Her face is a map of the world, is a map of the world. You can see she's a beautiful girl, she's a beautiful girl. And everything around her is a silver pool of light. I love that song. That song and Mr. Blue Sky by ELO can get me out of any bad mood, which is saying a lot. Oh my god, I'm such a slacker with my own dishes. I hate cleaning egg residue off a pan. It's like, I think they say you're not supposed to soak in soapy hot water. You're supposed to use cold water because it releases everything. And I have to carefully clean my trifle bowl. I can't believe this thing has lasted as long as it has without breaking. There was a lot left over. I made too much. The grand boy loved it. We all loved everything. We all ate too much. And it was a typical family gathering in which we all pigged out and then sat around talking about how fat and disgusting we felt and how we can't do this anymore. Although my daughter has lost a lot of weight since having the last baby. She's lost, I think, about 20 pounds. She looks amazing. She is quite a pretty girl. And it takes a lot of energy and health to keep up with 2 little kids and work a full-time job at night. She's a nurse and has a lot of responsibilities and a lot of people under her. So, and nobody talked at all about the other scare with my son-in-law, because really I don't want to bring bad energy to it. Nobody wants to think anything until the proper testing is done and we see what's what. Otherwise you can just drive yourself crazy with speculating and being nervous, and how the mind jumps to the worst conclusions, which does nothing but, you know, even when things aren't real, the body makes, the mind, your thoughts makes the body react as if they are real, which is what I try to always explain to people who wonder why I have panic attacks and stuff when there's nothing apparently wrong or I'm not in danger. It's because if my mind convinces me that there is danger or I get intrusive thoughts, my body reacts as if it's, you know, it's the fight or flight, the run or freeze mode, and it's really exhausting, which is why I hate long car rides, and which is why I was a little disappointed yesterday that we drove up there instead of them coming here. But of course, with them having the kids and all the stuff, the accoutrement for the kids there, it's just easier, of course. But we had to lug, you know, the food and stuff like that, and so, let's see, it's now almost 1/4 after. I've been blathering on for a long time here with overexposed light. I want to get to the post office before I get to work. I think I'll have time. I haven't gotten any mail except for the early birthday card from Julie Snyder. Thank you again, Julie. I'm saving it in the scrapbook. And I'm not trying to sound like a whiny biatch about it, but I wanted to let you guys know, if you have sent me anything, I haven't gotten it. We have a new postmaster in town. We've got a new sheriff in town. And there's been a big outrage with home delivery and with things not showing up or showing up late. And I don't know if that applies to mail sent there that's actually getting into a postal box. I don't see why it would, but I guess it makes sense. But I'll keep checking. And I guess that's it. I feel like I really need to get caught up on you guys' videos and reply a little more thoughtfully than just great video or a heart or a thumbs up. I mean, those are good, of course, for algorithm, but I want to let you guys know the things that you say and do that really touch me and enhance my life and make me happy to be part of such a warm and wonderful YouTube community. People think that you throw videos out there to attract random people, But honestly, I love a core group of folks that, you know, watch mine and I watch theirs, and we all get to really know each other and learn things about each other. It's a true friendship, you know, much more so than Facebook, where I've been on for too many years now. I think 9 years. And I really haven't formed any deep friendships. And I'm really not even in touch with relatives for the most part. I think Facebook, yeah, it is Facebook. I think Facebook is very, very superficial and sometimes artificial. So, I feel tired today, but I had a breakfast, I took my meds, I took my vitamins. I've got to get back to eating better, drinking more water. I need to go and get my TSH levels, my thyroid levels checked. On Friday, I've got the ultrasounds, and next month I've got a bunch of doctor visits, my gastroenterologist, my endocrinologist. I need to reschedule with my cardiologist because I was a no-show a couple months ago for that. I was just really depressed that day, and I couldn't get out of bed, and I couldn't fathom driving to where I needed to drive to see him. But you don't want to neglect that one. That's important. So, I would like to look into vaping. Maybe I'll go to a vape store and say I'm a total virgin, newbie, beginner, and I need something with a tiny bit of nicotine and tobacco and maybe a nice flavor. Something that won't give me a head rush. Which sounds funny from an actual smoker, but when I smoke my ultralights, I don't get a head rush. I get a terrible headache when I don't smoke, which isn't good, but for you smokers out there, don't you hate when you run out and you wake up in the morning and you want one with your coffee and you're like, damn it, I don't have any, and then you look in your ashtrays to even see if you have like a half of one that's still smokable, and you feel like some kind of a disgusting hobo. I'm going to go because I just realized my battery's low. I've been talking for 17 minutes. It's going to take a while for this to upload on my home Wi-Fi. So I'd like to do that before I hit the road and do some errands before work. Tomorrow I also work at 2 to 10, but I've got to get grocery shopping. You know, I set aside a little bit of money for that, and if I don't use it for groceries and things I need, like birdseed, for one thing, indoor and outdoor birdseed, I'll wind up using it for bills, which of course is necessary too, but like, I need to put things like my gas and groceries as a priority instead of blowing all my money and then having nothing to last me for like the next 10 days. Okay, too much information with very little substance. Thanks for listening. I love talking to you guys, and please hit like and subscribe if you're new. Tell your friends about my channel, and I'll do the same for you guys, okay? I promise to catch up soon. Okay, I just have a few more to do, so I'll talk to you later. Have a good Monday. Bye for now.